On this channel, we have predicted that Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid Ismail will get jail time, will have time behind bars. And now we have a South Korean lawyer that's come out there publicly in a rare appearance for South Korean lawyers and said, yes, he concurs with our analysis on the Somali conviction team that he will indeed see time behind bars. Of course, this is a legal mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney over here in Asia. So I'm very excited to see this because it's very rare. It's extremely rare to see South Korean lawyers get on social media and comment on an active case. It's something that we deal with very commonly in speaking to lawyers in Korea and them being very reticent to comment. So we have a South Korean lawyer who posted this on Facebook and gave some interesting comments about the Johnny Somali case. Now, I'm going to break this down and analyze it, but I want to first play it for you guys in its entirety so you're able to see that and see the comments by this lawyer. So we'll let him start out here and just let him speak and give his comments. He was asked the question, can you keep Johnny Somali in jail? And let's see his response here.
DC, can you guys keep Johnny Somali in jail? Considering what he did after he entered Korea, he must be definitely, stay in jail for a while. However, you should know that while he's in jail, everything he eats in there, the stuffs that he uses, the water that he uses, the accommodation, the jail or where he resides, it is all run by our tax, Korean people's tax. And so in fact, like putting him in jail doesn't really benefit Korean public fact. But of course, as a means of justice, he must face the imprisonment for a certain period of time. It seems like he's trying to lower his sentence by admitting guilt and apologize to the court and to the Korean public, although none of it doesn't really seem genuine. But still, court is quite lenient to that kind of crimes committed by foreigners. Many foreigners, like that kind of YouTuber, sometimes make a strategy that they didn't really know about Korean law, and that's why they continued that disrespectful attitude and behavior. That's the typical strategy that they're using to get away with their crime, and it works in many times. But in fact, his actions were really rude, out of manner. And it became really viral. I'm quite sure that he will face jail time.
Quite sure. That's quite sure he will face jail time. So I'm going to break that down because there's a lot going on in there. First of all, the first thing to separate out, and there is a little bit of language thing with this, and this is something that even I sometimes make mistakes on, even as an American lawyer. But in the American parlance, in the American legal vocabulary, there is a difference between jail and prison. Jail is typically short term, typically pre-trial, before trial. So keeping someone behind bars before trial, and also keeping them for a very short period of time, perhaps for a misdemeanor. Prison is typically for a longer period of time and typically after a conviction. So after someone is found guilty. So in Korea, as we've explained many times on my channel, especially if you're a regular viewer, and by the way, whether you're a regular viewer or not, smash the like button right now if you like this content. But jail is typically a short-term thing and typically before trial. So what he's trying to say is, and what he does say, is that the Korean strategy is to let them pay for their own stuff before trial. So they typically don't put people in jail before trial, before a conviction, because as he said, the Korean taxpayer has to pay for everything, the water, the food, everything. So they let them on their own. And as I mentioned on this channel, and as you're seeing this trial play out, trials can take a year or 2 years. So if the trial takes 2 years to conclude. That would be 2 years that Korean taxpayers are paying for Ramzi Khalid Ismail, Johnny Somali. And that's something their system doesn't like. They like to bleed them of their resources. And that's actually been working because we've seen Johnny and Hank, his top ally, Hank Hon Jong-yu, begging for money online, saying he's broke, he's destitute. So we're seeing that their strategy is actually working. The Korean strategy is working because the taxpayer doesn't have to pay for them. Now, with imprisonment, he's concurred. He said, yes, no, he will see some time. It's very likely he'll see some time. Now, one thing I want to be clear about and add a little annotation there is talking about leniency. It is generally true, and we've talked about this on the channel, that sentences are not crazy compared to, for example, the United States or other jurisdictions, certainly other comparable jurisdictions that might have very severe, long punishments. And in fact, many people think Johnny Somali deserves more than 5 years in jail. We did a poll in my chat, and the vast majority, over 75%, thinks that he deserves over 5 years in jail. So many people think he should be there a long time. And it may come down the line, and I've always disclosed this, that he may only get a couple years. He might get 3, he might get 5, he might get 7, he might get 10 or 12. It's possible, but he will not be getting life in prison. There won't be any capital punishment. So some might view this as quote unquote lenient, given the scope of what he's done. Now, also, he mentions the apology. Now, a lot of people in the press in Korea have seen that public apology, that apology he did in front of the Statue of Peace, the Comforts Woman statue. Everyone knows that was not a genuine apology. And that's what he's referencing there, that the strategy and the general strategy that does work is for people to give an apology because they know, hey, that's going to mitigate things. Johnny Somali has not done that. He's tripled down on it. That fake apology people have seen through as fake. And going into the defense of, oh, I didn't know, he's actually already pled guilty to most of the crimes. And the ones that he's fighting, it's not that he didn't know, it's that he's trying to say, but they did it too. So from a defense standpoint, it isn't even something that really is brought up in terms of the legal strategy pursued by Johnny Somali. So that's very good to see the points that we wanted to see reinforced, and also pointing out that, hey, this is a common strategy. And I think because it's a common strategy for people to pretend they didn't know, or people to apologize only to run away and try to escape consequences, that we call this out, that the Somali conviction team, my team working on this case, calls this out, points out that he's not genuine, points out that he's not sincere, points out that he's trying to do everything he can to wriggle out of this, and to make it so that all of the factors that go towards aggravating this, meaning making this worse, are factored in, that the judge factors those in, and the judge does not look at any factors, because there are none, that would lead to leniency or mitigation. Because at this point, there really has not been a single, even a single attempt at a genuine apology. It has in fact been over and over and over again that he's doubled and tripled down. He's made threats. He's attacked people. He's just threatened people, including the judge's mother. He's really gone absolutely crazy. And because of that, I don't think the judge will take this easy. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I do appreciate a South Korean lawyer speaking up on this, so I want to give props to the South Korean lawyer over there on Facebook. Leave a comment below, and I'll catch you on the next.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?